I have an important message. Mikey Williams said I was Buns. Now, Mikey, I train every single day for hours and put up thousands of shots. I personally think I will beat you 1v1. And you're kind of the one calling me out, so let me know when you're ready to play.
YouTube, man, what's going on? It's LNH back with another video. And today, man, we have a special one. Now, if you guys don't know, this topic has been trending around the high school basketball scene for a minute. GeoWise is actually, and if you guys don't know who that is, he's a TikTok influencer, has actually quote unquote called out Mikey Williams to a 1v1. So let's break this down, get into it, and tell you the truth about all this, as well as Brandon Boston. There is a ton of news going around this dude, so I want to break that down, give you an update. We have not talked about him in a while. Now, if you like any of these topics or any of the topics that I talk about on this channel in high school basketball, then make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel, and turn on those notifications. Now, if you guys have not seen this video, basically GeoWise put a TikTok out basically stating how Mikey Williams actually commented on one of his videos and called him trash pretty much, and Geo responded with calling Mikey Williams out to a 1v1. Now, if you know anything about this dude or have seen any highlights of him, pretty much all he does is spam dribble, similar to something like Julian Newman, and plenty of people even call this dude Julian Newman 2.0. Now, in my opinion, this dude is just kind of trolling for clout again, which it seems like that's what he's been doing since day one. If you've seen any of his videos, he always loves to play 1v1 against people, and in my opinion, I think him being such a young age, what he decided to do was saw that he was getting attention from doing these type of things on the internet, pretty much just spam dribbling and not really playing the game of basketball with any type of sound IQ. And then of course, what happened after that, he ended up just calling people out and playing. He even got to play Cash Nasty and a lot of other people, which is pretty interesting. Cam Wilder as well was another dude he played against, but of course he's been taking L's in a lot of these videos. And in my opinion, I really don't think people take this dude too seriously in the game of basketball. Now, one thing a lot of people want to see this dude play against, because of course Mikey Williams is not going to accept this 1v1. I would be very surprised, even though although he did play Cash Nasty one-on-one, which that's pretty big, and if Mikey did end up doing that, man, they definitely would have to put some type of money on the line at this point. If Mikey Williams can make money off of his name, they would definitely have to do some type of deal here. So I would love to see that type of game, and I honestly think Geo would get killed. It's really no question about that. The way Mikey Williams has been playing, and of course Mikey is a top high school player in the country, one of the best in the country, going up against a regular guy. I think it really should be no trouble for him. But a lot of people are saying he's got to play Julian Newman first, and I definitely would like to see that. We talked about the similarities of them as well in a recent video that I put out. But you guys know these dudes honestly play similar in my opinion, but I gotta give my respects to Julian, because although he was doing something similar to Geo, he really wasn't as big as a troll and pretty much actually liked the game of basketball, played it pretty seriously. And although he just had a bad attitude, and of course him being very short, it's not going to work out too well at the next level, at least we gave him that type of respect. Even if you don't like him, you got to give him that. Where Geo, pretty much in my opinion, is just trolling about everything. Now, I've even seen a couple comments saying that he just wants to meet Mikey Williams to say how much of a fan he is, and I think that is hilarious. You guys are really calling this dude out, and for sure this game would be an easy dub for Mikey Williams. Now, in my opinion, if you're somebody like Mikey, I wouldn't even take this seriously at all, or even respond to it or give it any attention, because at the end of the day, that's what this dude thrives off of. And when you're somebody like Mikey and somebody like this calls you out, there's really no need to even respond. You know what's gonna happen if you end up playing, and with this guy being such a serious basketball player, you know there's no point in even making this type of comparison at all. Now, one thing I can almost guarantee that we're gonna start seeing in the future is a lot more people do this type of thing with basketball. If you guys see how much attention Geo is getting from this situation, you don't think other people are gonna follow in his same footsteps? Now, in my opinion, like I said, I think the first person that kind of started this low low-key was probably LeVar because of how crazy of the tactics that he was using, even on television, and a lot of people took him seriously. But after that, you saw other people kind of follow suit. Of course, Jamie Newman did do something very similar with overtime and Julian Newman, and then it kind of trickled down to Geo, where he is taking it to another level. But a lot of people really don't give this dude the type of credit because he really cannot play the game of basketball, whereas you saw what happened with LeVar's Suns. They actually are having a really good shot at getting to the next level. Now, you guys let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this situation? For sure, man, this dude is a clown. I wouldn't even take it seriously if I was somebody like Mikey Williams. But let me know what you guys think about this entire situation. It was very interesting. If you think I even missed anything about this topic, but let me know in the comments down below. Now, next, of course, we have to talk about BJ Boston. This dude I've covered on my channel for a minute now. For sure, he was a bucket in high school, was one of the top players, of course, McDonald's All-American, did his thing on the court, went to Kentucky, and man, things honestly did not go the best for him. We got to be honest here. He definitely didn't play as well as he thought he would. He honestly shot around 35% from the field goal and only around 30% from that three-point line, which was definitely, people thought he may be doing a tad bit better than that, especially being that when he was on his team, he really was not the top guy playing there. There were other players who, in my opinion, looked like a little bit more comfortable on the court, a little bit more confident, and were taking their shots, where it didn't seem like, in my opinion, Brandon Boston would always be super aggressive. And like I always tell you, Bronny James is not the only one who faces these type of issues. Clearly, Brandon Boston was another player who had something very similar, and it does happen when you play against better competition. Sometimes you are not always as super aggressive. Now, him being 6'7" is definitely a plus, as of course that height is only going to help him a ton when these NBA teams are looking at him. And if you guys know by now, man, the draft is coming up very soon. July 29th is when the draft is going to happen, and a lot of people are wondering, how is Brandon Boston going to do? Where is this dude going to get drafted? Now, of course, with his performance in college, it definitely didn't help his draft stock too much, but I think a lot of people are going to look at his overall history because, of course, man, this dude showed that he has that ability within him in high school basketball. You guys know, if he was playing at Sierra Canyon, playing against top competition, of course, teamed up with Sharif Cooper in EYBL, he did his thing on the court, no doubt, was very impressive at that young of an age. But then, of course, transitioning now to college, things didn't go the best for him at all. Now, scouts are actually stating that his ability to get that one-on-one shot off and get a bucket is actually his strong suit, and I definitely agree with that. If we've seen players like this before, man, he knows how to get a bucket a lot of times, especially when it's the one-on-one. But of course, working with your teammates as well is another huge aspect you have to be able to fill in. And of course, being aggressive enough to take those type of shots but also make your own is something we need to see from this dude. Now, of course, defense is another spot you have to be solid if you're trying to get to league, depending on what they really need you for. But lastly, that athleticism is a huge plus in his game. A lot of you guys know this dude is super athletic for his height, being that 6'7", but of course being able to dunk the ball and fly up and down the court. I think that's for sure what makes this dude an attractive prospect. But if he can really tie it in all together with that jump shooting ability that he showed previously back in high school, I think this dude is going to be a very solid pick and a very good player in the future. But it's definitely going to take some work for him to improve on some of his shooting and how aggressive he is on the court. But again, a lot of that is just mental, and a lot of tweaks is just going to take time for him to continue to work on his game. But for sure, I think a lot of teams are going to be interested in him and what he can do in the future. Now, most spots actually have him listed as going early second round, which that's tough in my opinion. If you guys don't know, man, a lot of people are saying this dude was going to be a #1 pick in the upcoming NBA draft coming out of high school, and of course very early on in his college career. But things changed, and of course you have to pivot with the times. A lot of people thought that his stock dropped tremendously compared to what people thought it would have been back in high school. Now, I'm curious, what do you guys think about this situation? Do you think I missed anything? Honestly, this dude is a really good player. I think he has a future in the NBA, but he's definitely gonna have to work on a ton of things to be able to keep a spot in the NBA and of course make meaningful impacts in the long run. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Again, what do you think about Geo and Mikey's situation? again, clown situation here going on. And on the other hand, what do you think about BJ Boston? For sure, solid player, has a lot to work on, and he's going to get drafted for sure, but we'll have to wait and see what team picks him up. But let me know in the comments down below if you think I missed anything, man. Make sure you like the video, sub to the channel, turn on those notifications, and comment down below any video suggestions you do have for me. Again, I appreciate all the support. All right, LNH, I'm out.